All right, guys, here it is. The report we have all been waiting for is finally here. Now it's not considered officially official because that's considered officially official once the Cincinnati Bengals make a post of their own. But it's official now. I'm not even going to even hide it. I've talked about it for weeks. Al Golden has been named the new defensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, I've been talking about it a lot. I've had probably 3 videos talking about him already. That's not what this video is going to be talking about. Tomorrow, I'll probably do a little bit, unless something more reports come out. I'm going to be doing a more of a deep dive on his hire, why I think it's a good hire, and what to expect with him going forward. That's not what this video is for, though. I think this video, with some reports that have come out, there's a lot to go over today. I think there's a lot of things Cincinnati can do to help Golden in his first year in Cincinnati. And 2 reports that came out today, one of them I've already talked about. I think this would radically change the performance of Golden in his first year. But before we get started, before I show that, thank you guys so much. We hit not 1,000. We're going to hit 1,000 eventually. We hit 100 subscribers. Thank you so much for getting me to 100 subscribers. I appreciate all the comments, the likes, the guys that you have been subscribing. I thank you guys so much. Now the road is to 500, and I know with this offseason we can get it pretty fast. But before I get going, the number keeps going down. Yesterday we were at 97% not subscribed. Now we're at 96%. 96 of you watching right now are not subscribed. So make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. Thank you so much. I'm trying to build a community of those Bengals fans, Houday Nation. I love talking with you guys, going back and forth on what you think and what I think. It's been a lot of fun, but thank you guys so much to getting to that milestone of 100, and we're going to keep growing from here. But without further ado, let's just jump into it. Here's the report. The Bengals are finalizing a deal with Notre Dame defensive coordinator Al Golden, who's expected to be in Cincinnati on Thursday to officially sign on as DC. Sources tell the Insider. Golden spent 2 seasons as Bengals linebacker coach before joining the Irish. Now, a reunion. Yes, it is indeed a reunion. Golden has been with us before, back in 2020 and 2021. He was the linebacker coach. Like I've said multiple times, he helped develop Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt. Before I jump into the other reports that I want to go over today, this is a good hire. A lot of people after the Ohio State performance in the national title game were a little bit more concerned. Don't base your opinion based off of one game. Ohio State has 15 5-stars. You know how many 5-stars Notre Dame has? 1. And if you're not big into college, let me explain it to you. 5 stars are basically the best recruits coming out of high school. Stars are rewarded to high school prospects based off their performance level. Ohio State had 15 of the best recruits throughout 4-year span. Notre Dame had 1 5-star. They were built more upon 3 and 4 stars. For NFL terms, a 5-star is basically a first-round draft pick. 4-star is basically a second-round draft pick, and so down the line. Ohio State had 15 of those, and a lot of them are on the offense and on the defense as well. But a lot of the starters for that offense for Ohio State could be starters on the NFL. There's only a handful of Notre Dame's defensive players that could be starters for the NFL. So don't look at that one game and be like, oh my goodness, this was a bad hire. He actually did pretty well. Ohio State did whatever they wanted to in the first half pretty much. The second half, Golden made adjustments, and they forced them to 2 field goals in the second half. That was the only thing Ohio State did in the second half was 2 field goals. Now you can say Ohio State took their foot off the pedal because they were already up by 28 or 24, whatever it was. But don't base your opinion off of one game, and I'm going to go into a deep dive tomorrow. I didn't want to go that far into it today. But anyways, another report that we got to talk about. This actually could be huge, and I wanted to do a video talking about this guy, but this report beat me to it. That was the guy. This is the report. Ideal free agent target for Bengals. Former All-Pro pass rusher Khalil Mack to play in 2025. So basically, if you haven't heard the news, Khalil Mack didn't know if he was going to play in 2025 or if he was going to retire. He said he's going to take some time after the loss to the Texans in the playoffs. He has since come out and said he is going to play again, which means now he is a free agent. This is a guy Cincinnati needs to go after. We need to get more pressure on the quarterbacks. We were in the lower thirds of NFL teams with least amount of quarterback pressures. Obviously, we had the guy with leading sack and Trey Hendrickson, but we need somebody opposite of him who is fast, big, has the speed and is agile to get to the quarterback, and that is Khalil Mack, and he's sitting right there in free agency. Don't let another team come in and get this guy who should be in the stripes this season. 2024, at the age of 34, listen to this, age of 34 as an edge rusher, 39 total tackles, 20 solo tackles, 6 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, and listen to this, passes deflected, 9. As an edge rusher, he had 9 passes deflected. What about PFF grade? I love looking at the PFF grade, obviously. I talk about it all the time. Overall, 90.4. 5th in all edge rushers in the NFL. What about pass rush? 79.9. 16th of all edge rushers. What about run defense? 88%. 2nd among all edge rushers. At the age of 34, this dude is top 5 edge rushers, and he's a free agent. This year, he was making around 25, around there. So this is a guy you're going to have to spend a lot of money on, and that probably means that Cincinnati is going to have to let go of one of their captains, which one of my favorite Bengal players. I'm just going to cut to the chase, Sam Hubbard. Sam Hubbard is the guy that would probably have to leave the Cincinnati Bengals for this to happen. But it hurts me to say this as a Buckeye fan. Sam Hubbard, obviously a Buckeye from Ohio. I love Sam Hubbard. The gap between the two is pretty drastic, and the amount of money change isn't that drastic, and the production, like I've said, is drastic. So let's look at Sam Hubbard this year. Obviously, he was out for the last few weeks with the knee injury after the scoring touchdown. But listen to this. Total tackles, 41, a little bit as the same as Mack. Solo tackles, 25, around the same. Sacks, 2, 4 less than Mack. Forced fumbles, 1 less than Mack. Fumble recoveries, 0, 1 less than Mack. Passes deflected, 2. Khalil Mack had 7 more passes deflected than Sam Hubbard this season. And then it gets worse. PFF grade. Overall for Sam Hubbard this season, 58.9. 122nd among edge rushers. What about pass rush? 47.6. 202nd among edge rushers. Rush defense, 67.7. 56th among edge rushers. Look at this. Trey Hendrickson, just overall grade for edge rushers, is 8th overall. Right now, with Cincinnati, our edge rushers combined with Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard, we have the 8th overall edge rusher and the 122nd overall edge rusher. But if you get a guy like Khalil Mack, yes, he's going to be a lot of money, but he's going to be worth it. You have Trey Hendrickson, leader in sacks. He has the most sacks since 2024, most sacks since 2023, most sacks since 2022, most sacks since 2021, most sacks since 2020. Combine him, Trey Hendrickson, also 8th overall edge rusher according to the PFF grade. Combine him with Khalil Mack, PFF grade-wise, 5th best edge rusher in the NFL. You have 2 of the top 10 edge rushers in the NFL in stripes next season if you go get Khalil Mack. Yes, that means you have to unfortunately let go of Sam Hubbard, but even though it sucks, and yes, he's a captain on the team, and he's that captain and veteran presence, you just bring Khalil Mack in for that veteran presence. This is the NFL. We have Joe Burrow. We have arguably the best or second best quarterback in the league. You have to win a Super Bowl. You have to. And how do you do that? You make sure your defense can make sure that the other team is not going to score more than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is going to get points on the board. You got to make sure your defense can slow the other offense down. And how do you do that? Have the two of the top 10 edge rushers in the NFL on your defense. That's Trey Hendrickson and that's Khalil Mack. I think it's obvious. Khalil Mack right here should be in the stripes next season. I don't care how much money it takes. Figure out a way to do it. He should be a Bengal in 2025-2026 season. This next report that would help out Golden a lot. Also, obviously, Khalil Mack would help out Golden a lot. But this next report, I talked about this guy already, and now is a report. Cincinnati drafts Alabama linebacker Jihaad Campbell in Mel Kiper's Jr.'s debut mock draft. Exactly like I said would happen. This is what I predicted, or a player that I said to watch out for. Just as a reminder of what Jihaad Campbell has been able to do with Alabama in the SEC, used to be one of the most dominant conferences in college football. Total tackles 119, solo tackles 89, 5 passes defended, 5.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 interceptions. This is a linebacker who can do pretty much everything. Once again, one of the biggest struggles with Cincinnati's defense this season was getting QB pressures. How do you help your cornerbacks who have struggled as of recent, now that they're getting back Dax Hill and DJ Turner from injury? So the cornerbacks should be getting better, especially if you go get a safety to help over top. How do you help those cornerbacks out? By getting to the quarterback fast. Adding a guy like Khalil Mack with 6 sacks, and then you get a guy like Jihaad Campbell to be a linebacker who is effective in the passing game, but also in the sacking game, getting after the quarterback. That changes the dynamic of the defense instantly. This is the mock draft that was discussed. This was his reasoning for it. Mel Kiper's, the 17th pick, Cincinnati Bengals, Jihaad Campbell, linebacker, Alabama. How contract situations play out for T. Higgins and Mark Chase could change the outcome of this draft pick. Obviously, if we don't end up signing T. Higgins, then it's likely we need to go get a wide receiver. But it would be nearly impossible for Cincinnati to ignore the defense. Without a doubt, that unit kept the Bengals from the playoffs this season, allowing 25.5 points per game, 25th in the league. So I'm matching them with a prospect who does a little of everything, like I said, on that side of the ball. Campbell had 112 tackles, like I said, 5 sacks, 5.5, 12 run stops, and an interception this season. He's instinctive and explosive. You go get a guy who has already proven to be one of the best edge rushers in the NFL and is still one of the best edge rushers at the age of 34, to combine him with a draft pick of Jihaad Campbell, one of the second best linebacker in this draft, who is known as getting after the quarterback, but also being effective in the passing game. That immediately helps Golden in his first year in the NFL. I think that's exactly what Cincinnati needs to be doing. I don't think we're that far off. I think Cincinnati needs 1 or 2 players on the defensive side, and we're fine, like realistically. And there's a lot of guys. Like, I think we should go add another corner to our cornerback room late in the draft. That's going to be another video. That I'm going to be talking about later at the end of each month. So in January and February and March, leading to the draft, I'm going to be doing a mock draft at the end of each month of the current roster. So if by the end of this month, if T. Higgins and Mike Gesicki aren't signed, in my eyes, they're not on the team. So it's going to be dependent on what the actual current roster is. But if you want to help your new defensive coordinator and giving him the best chance of success with the Bengals in 2025, go get Khalil Mack and then draft a guy like Jihaad Campbell. Obviously, there's a lot of things that could change with the draft, depending if T gets extended or if Mike Gesicki doesn't get extended. There's a lot of things that could happen. But with certainty, Khalil Mack should be a guy you should at least go after. If you're not even contacting him, there's a major problem with the front office. Golden, once he gets into that room, immediately signs that contract. He should look at Zach Taylor and say, call Khalil Mack right now. See how much it's going to take to get him in Cincinnati. Because if you can, once again, combine Khalil Mack with Trey Hendrickson, who should be the defensive player of the year, with 17.5 sacks, 8th best overall edge rusher in the NFL, PFF grade-wise, and then combine him with Khalil Mack, PFF grade-wise, 5th best edge rusher in the league, that immediately changes the QB pressures. And then you go draft in April a guy like Jihaad Campbell, who has known getting after the quarterback with the speed of an edge rusher in the linebacker position, with 5.5 sacks and 2 interceptions and 5 deflections. A guy who can play pass defense and go get after the quarterback immediately changes that dynamic of the Bengals defense instantly. And like I said, there should be a guy like Xavier Watts available in the second round who knows Golden already. With this draft and with free agents this year, you can change the Bengals' outcome of 2025 from 9-8 to back again to when we went to the AFC Championship and eventually lost to the Chiefs when we went 12-4. You add 1 or 2 guys on the defense and the offense, the Bengals are right back up to 12-4 without a doubt in my mind. And it starts with this. Go get offensive line, like I said. Go get a guy like a Trey Smith. Then go spend money. Go get Khalil Mack. And then draft a guy like Jihaad Campbell right there. But It's not that hard. I mean, it might be for Mike Brown. He doesn't want to give him his money, but with this stats and the potential of the team with being led by a quarterback like Joe Burrow, you need to spend every single penny you have to build an amazing team around him with veterans and rookies. One of the cornerbacks I was talking about getting late, his name is Kobe Bryant. Go look him up. Kansas cornerback. You could go draft him in the 6th round, which is absurd to me. I watch a lot of college football. I thought this guy for sure was going 2nd or 3rd. He's projected 5th or 6th, maybe even 7th. If Kobe Bryant is available in the 5th or 6th round, and I'm adding him to my cornerback room, 100% yes. 100% yes. I'll talk about him more later. But to me, his comparison is literally Sauce Gardner. I think he could have a rookie season like Sauce Gardner. But that's for a later video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think about going to get a guy like Khalil Mack. And once again, what you think about Jihaad Campbell in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel. Trying to build that community of Who Dey Nation. Now our goal is to 500. We've already surpassed the 100 subscribers milestone. Now let's get to 500. Thank you so much for watching. Good night, and God bless.